How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with some gigantic stout in the form of Bombastic Brewing. It is their big, dumb beer. Imperial Stout. 15% alcohol by volume. This is canned February 15th. It is now March, almost April, beginning of April 2021. Yeah. They say on the back here, it says, Big Dumb Beer is anything but a classic take on an Imperial Stout, using roasted wheat and flaked oats for a full body and chocolate rye to give it both chocolate notes with minimal bitterness. Bum, 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 bum. These guys are out of Idaho. Brewed and canned by Pyatt Brewing Company in Boise, Idaho for Bombastic Brewing. So they're like either Gypsy Brewing or contracting out of there. I equally don't like this label, equally love it for its ghetto-ness. I don't know. I have a little bit of trepidation because it's a 15% non-adjunct Imperial Stout that's not barrel aged. I kind of really like that, but I'm also kind of nervous about it. Comes courtesy of my boy Mike. I sent off a big box at Devore. He actually went at Devore and picked out a bunch of beers on his own dime. Sent them off to me, so I appreciate that, brother. So yeah, labels both cool and poopy. Beer, we'll find out. Index finger coffee. That's where I like my coffee. If anybody's ever gonna make me coffee, that much cream. Yeah, and it is dark. It's not motor oil dark, but it's dark nonetheless. Getting beer everywhere already. It's got a nose. Okay. I don't smell anything. You're talking, this is a 15% Imperial Stout with rye, nonetheless. And I'm not really getting anything. I'd be lying. I kind of want to say I'm getting... No, that's true, because there is the slightest faint of a soft chocolate component to it. You're talking about 15%? This thing should be blowing my nose hairs back into my skull. And there's really just a very soft chocolate component to it. Semi-sweet chocolate, done. Nothing else to this beer. No heat, no sweet, no bitter. It's that soft wafting of a slight chocolate thing. Let's see. Cheers. This is a weird beer. I don't hate it, man. I don't. Listen, it's a weird beer because pretty much what I said at the beginning, bottle opener's annoying me, pretty much what I said at the beginning, which is, this big 15% stout with no adjunct, no nothing. It's just a stout. That's 15%. You don't see that much nowadays. And it drinks below its weight class. There's a little zip of a little bit of heat there that lets you know you're drinking something with balls. But it's not like huge. I would imagine as a mystery beer, I would kind of teeter between 8 to 10% on this, maybe 11, but not 15. It's got this stickiness to it that might lead me to a little bit higher ABV, because every time I take a sip, I just keep smacking my lips to get that kind of syrupiness off of it, but it's not like a super thick beer. It's almost fully attenuated. There's not a huge sweet component to this beer. It's 15%. It's gonna be sweet, again, but it's not an overly sweet beer. I kind of like it in its simplicity, because there's a roasted malt component, again, not 15% big, but 10% big. There's a nice kind of multiple levels of chocolate to it. The nose leaves a lot to be desired. The mouth feels quite nice. There's a big roast component, almost a spicy bittering to it. It doesn't get to like blackstrap molasses level kind of chocolate, sweet bittering kind of component, but it's eking in that direction. It reminds me, and I don't mean this as a negative, hopefully Bombastic does not take this that way if they ever watch this, but it tastes like a friend's homebrew who's like, I want to make the biggest ABV stout I possibly can. It's kind of what it tastes like. But in that sense, they did a really, really good job of it. You're like, dude, that's a crazy good 15% Imperial Stout. That's the kind of thing. It just begs to be fucked with. Like, I don't... Who makes, like, 15% Imperial Stouts without anything in it? I mean, you can see some Russian Imperial Stouts get eking towards that, but then again, you're dealing usually with a big hop kind of component in it, whereas this is just a big beer. You know, it kind of reminds me of, I don't want to say brewery, because the brewery doesn't even do it, because when they get to this level, in their stouts, they go weird and barrel age this and all kinds of stuff. Their old ales get this big, but it's a much different beer. Yeah, it's not a negative beer by any stretch. Nothing as far as off flavor goes. There's none of that metallic astringency I'm getting. I'm not getting any kind of latex, painty, stressed yeast kind of thing that you might get when you're trying to produce a beer that has no adjuncts, no added stuff going to it. That is 15%. It drinks like a really well done double-digit ABV Imperial Stout. It just happens to be 15 instead of 11. There you go. Reviewing the books. Is it one of the better Imperial Stouts I've had as of late? It's not. Sure. It's not. I don't want to leave it out, but I don't want to put it in. It's just kind of there. It's fun. It's fine. I'm glad I got to try it. I will probably never pick it up again. But if they made like an adjunct version of it, a barrel aged version, something where it was like, okay, let's see what they did with this beer. No, in the grand scheme of things, they would probably change this beer if they were going to do those kind of things. But I'd try it nonetheless. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. Let's go there. Oh, value and availability. Tavor, like I said. Mike, let me know what you paid. If anybody out there in Boise, Idaho, I don't know if I've ever had an Idaho beer before, so that might make this unique in that sense. If you guys know what this costs off a shelf, please let me know. And if you like what we like this, if you like Imperial Stouts, and you just want them with all the ABVs, it's your boy. So there you go. Little review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully I'm enjoying a little bombastic beer right now. Props to my boy Paul from PA Brew News. He says the word bombastic all the time. So there you go. Well, hopefully you guys are having a good beer right now. See you next time. Cheers.